Welcome to the Light Tackle Angler Fishing Report. I'm Captain John Foweiler. This is Captain David King.
How you doing, John?
Good, how are you?
Ready to talk about some fishing?
Yes, I am. First, this Light Tackle Angler Report is brought to you by Glagla Shoes. They're the #1 walking shoe over in Europe. We brought them over here. They're vented, they're really comfortable, they're a great boat shoe. So how about some offshore fishing? Let's talk about that.
Well, let's talk about down south first. Down south,
Okay.
We're getting great reports on bottom fishing.
Good.
You know, the yellowtail snapper, real good. They're still catching the muttons down there. The hot depth's been 70 feet. The drift boats have been doing good. The boats anchoring. A couple of the anchor boats off of Jupiter, probably Loran Tower, you know, that's what we're always hearing. Muttons up to about 15 pounds, so that's really good to see. They're using big chunks of cut bait. You know, that seems to be the hot thing. Bonita chunks, something big, a big enough chunk that the small fish don't mess with it. You put it out there and just wait, and they've been getting some good muttons. Yellowtails have been great fish, up to like 2.5 pounds. Really, really big triggerfish. I'm hearing that up and down the coast. Big triggerfish right now. Also, the troll boats, the hot thing going once again is the kingfish. Dolphin are few and far between. Sailfish, same thing.
Right.
A few of the boats that are high-speed trolling out in that 180 to 210, picking up a couple wahoo. So that's been the hot thing offshore. Macobia have left that area. So what are you hearing inshore down south?
Inshore, we fished the Jupiter Inlet today, and there were just hordes of mullet coming through the inlet. What else is going on? The snook have been real good. We caught a couple keeper snook in the inlet. We kind of just drifted it with the mullet. There's been lots of jacks, lots of big jacks. It's the jack attack now. It's been really good. I didn't see any tarpon, but I heard that they were there at night. That's about it down, I guess, off of Stewart. The tarpon have been really good off in the crossroads. Anchor up, get your mullet, and just kind of float them out there, and it's been really, really good off of Stewart for that.
They just come through that area religiously? Is that just kind of always been a hot spot, that crossroads?
Exactly. You even catch a few grouper doing that, and of course lots of jacks now, big jacks, but they're really fun. So, how about offshore Fort Pierce?
Offshore Fort Pierce, we actually did a trip on Sunday. Talked to a lot of captains once again, just like way down south. Kingfish have been the mainstay. We've been hearing a fish into the 35 and 40 pound range.
Nice.
So we're getting some of those big fish starting to come in. One thing I did see out there was massive pods and 40 foot of mullet offshore. It was really weird. You know, I guess there's big pods coming down the beach, but they were in 40, 45 foot of water. They were thick enough, you just throw a line out there, yank it, and you would get a bait on.
Oh, cool.
Let it sink. There was kingfish, there was jacks, there was 5 and 6 pound bluefish hitting in them too. We just were able to catch enough mullet doing it that way to fill the live well, and did offshore fishing. You know, we caught more kingfish. We tried a little dolphin fishing, non-existent, which September's not the great month for them. Bottom fishing has improved. Some of the boats north of Fort Pierce have been catching snapper, mangroves, the grouper starting to bite again. Once again, the really big triggerfish has been the mainstay. I mean, they call them those garbage can lids, them 7, 8 pound triggerfish, which are really good to eat too. So that's been the mainstay. The cobia that were around have pretty much vanished. I think they're north of here now, so that's been the hot thing off Fort Pierce.
How about, is the water warm now?
The water is warm on the bottom. Yesterday when one of the divers was out, he said it was 80 degrees on the bottom, 83 on the surface, 15 to 20 foot visibility, lobster, grouper, snapper. I mean, not as thick as they were before the water was cold, but things are back to normal. Which is
and when should the dolphins start showing up?
They usually around the end of October, November start coming back south again. We start getting them up around the Bethel Shoal area first, and we usually find them around the birds. There'll be pods of like 3 to 5 at a time, and this time of the year the birds come with them, so it kind of gives you a little jump on where they are. If there's any clumps of weeds and you see the birds hovering on the weeds, boogie over there and throw a live bait or a bait into the water, because there's probably some dolphin there.
All right, how about if they wanted to get a hold of you?
They can call me on my cell, 772-979-6068, or I'm almost always at the store on the South Beach in Fort Pierce, the subway right by the Coast Guard station on Seaway Drive. Bring your pictures by or report, stop by, and we'll hook you up with some lures.
Sounds
great. We got some good lures for you.
I got to do inshore yet. Inshore off of Fort Pierce has been really good. The water is very tannic because they're releasing a lot of fresh water, but super, super high tides, probably 2 foot above normal. Like if you're going out wading where it's usually knee, it's up to your armpits. Wading is really tough right now, but out of the boat it's really good because you can hit mangroves that you could never hit, and a lot of times those mullet are hanging right next to those mangroves, so that's a great place for your snook and your redfish. Trout has been tremendous. They don't mind this dirty water. I don't know why, but I guess they just live through it, and so it's been really good fishing up here in Fort Pierce. Anything else you need to add?
No, I think that's it. If you need a pair of shoes, we can hook you up on some of the best
right.
walking water shoes. We're actually going to have a central location shortly, but next week maybe we can give you some of the places we're going to be on the weekends at the flea markets and the boat shows.
Perfect. All right, lighttackleangler.com. Join us there. Lots of reports. I guess that's about it, right?
That's it.
Okay.
Next week we'll have a great report.
Yep. Thank you again for joining us on the Light Tackle Angler Fishing Report.